So I'm going to start just by asking for the cat to not knock on the door. So I set up the altar. I have, it's kind of hard to see because it's a little dark, but I do have where I used my incense for cleansing. It's still cleansing a little bit. I have my Tyr side, my Fenrir side. I have my Fenrir statue. It is a wolf. And I have Tyr. Now I'm representing Tyr with 3 cards. I have Justice, Judgment, and Temperance. I'm putting them in that order. Fanned out just a slight bit. I'm keeping them away from the candle. My offering to Tyr, my offering to Fenrir. This is just for a little bit of flavor for me. I am wearing my moon necklace for this. And also because it is a moon ritual, I do have the moon card. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume down slightly on that. Oops. So this is a lengthy and heavy ritual. As I said on my blog, I am not going to allow anyone else to openly speak up another god or deity or whatever. I will write a ritual if you want me to for them, but this is strictly for Fenrir and Tyr. This is a ritual I wrote specifically for them. So if you're interested, you can always find me on Tumblr and message me, and I will definitely get around to writing you a ritual for them. This is my first time that I'm broadcasting a ritual, and if you'll notice, I do have a slight stutter sometimes, so bear with me with that. I am aware that I have it. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm just going to read through what I have. I'm going to need this. So let me get that picture. So, you'll just need candles. So, I ran into a problem earlier today. I specified that I was going to be using a stick candle for Fenrir and Tyr. I did not realize I was out of stick candles, so I'm using these that I put a little leaf of gold on. I don't know if you can see it. A little leaf of gold. These are going to represent them, and then on the papers beneath their offerings, I put the Fenrir and the Tyr writing. And that'll all be disposed of at the end of this. So, alright. Oops. So, candles, this is just to light it. I am going to light these momentarily, keeping in mind strict fire safety. Where's my other one? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wicks. I need a 5th wick. Where's my 5th wick? There's my 5th wick. 5th wick. 5th wick. There we go. Okay. So. I have to do things. No, I have to do 5 wicks. I have to. Sorry. Okay. So this is the candlestick I was going to carve the tea into, but because they're little bitty tea candles, I couldn't carve it into the tea candle. It just didn't work. So something to symbolize them, something to make noise. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Those make bell noises. I don't know if you can hear the bells. I can, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And then something to offer. So for Tyr, I'm going to be offering him some alcohol. For Fenrir, I have moon water. So they're both beverages for them. Beverages. We're going to just sit and talk. I mean, it's nice to, take a drink and everything. Yeah. I'm a little awkward about this. So, anyway. First, the candlestick. Yada, yada, yada. Let's make sure. Fire safety, everybody. I have all of that stuff here. The candles are well away from these flames. Something to light the candle with. I'm going to use so if you were using a stick candle, you could carve the typical tea thing, but I'm not going to. And then there was the runes. So I wrote the runes down. They're on the table right now underneath. I'm not going to move them right now, but they're there. And I remember when you're writing, the runes need to be written with sharp corners. These were often carved, so you just have to kind of be aggressive about it. I mean, it's Tyr and Fenrir, so they're going to appreciate the aggressiveness of you going rah ha ha. So let's start with our cleanse. So we come tonight in the light of the wolf moon on Tyr's Day to welcome the teamwork and power of Tyr, great god of justice, law, and war, and Fenrir, great wolf, a mountain of strength, he who breaks chains, and one who consumes. As I call to Tyr and Fenrir, may this area hear my voice and forbid ill intent from traveling near. So the first ring is to get their attention. The second ring is to make them leave. There we go. The third ring is to prevent them from returning. On this night, we welcome the war team, Tyr and Fenrir, into our house. Tyr, God who brings wisdom to the neglected, may you find my home law-abiding, faithful, and always honest. Hail, Tyr, one who would pass with justice unto all, including himself. Hail, and find comfort here. This one's not wanting to light. Come on, Fenrir. Come on, Fenrir. Okay. I'm going to attempt to get the right gap of the candle. There we go. He didn't want to show up. That's what it was. Okay. Fenrir, O great mountainous wolf, powerful adversary and inevitable doom. We greet you tonight as a protector of all the oppressed. May you find my home a space where all are welcome and free from chains. Hail, Fenrir, and find comfort here. Tonight, may the gods accept my offerings. I'm going to have a brief moment of silence for everybody to do their offerings. And tonight, I share with you a tale, one of Tyr and Fenrir. Long ago, after Loki had the 3 children and their fates were decided, Tyr took it upon himself to see to Fenrir's safe upbringing. Tyr, in his infinite wisdom, knew the terror this great wolf would one day bring. Did he run from the challenge? No, the god of war stood and accepted his fate be bound just a small pup at the time. Tyr took little time growing, and soon all would cower in fear at his strength. But he was not a god. Fenrir would never be welcomed by the gods, and Tyr could see how it hurt him. They were family at this point. Blood had been shed together. Tyr had watched him grow into a strong, powerful wolf. Tyr could see the desire in his young boy's eyes, and so he once again took it upon himself to see to it that things were set in motion. Justice should come to Fenrir for all his hard work. Approaching Odin, he laid himself down, appealing to the Great Father. Fenrir has proven time and again he is the strongest. All he needs now is to be accepted by the gods. Welcome him as one of us. Odin sent him away to reflect upon the request, with no answer given at the time. That night, Odin awoke in a cold sweat. His wife Frigg touched him gently. "What ails you, my love?" Odin could not speak right away. Moments passed as he saw what would become of the future. "My wife," Odin spoke softly, "I've had a terrible dream. One that is not a dream, but reality. And this reality cannot come to pass." Quickly he ran to Tyr and embarked the wisdom of his vision upon him. Startled, Tyr was left unsure of what to do. "We bind the beast," Odin swore. "A challenge will go out." "You forget," Tyr cautioned. "His parents, great Odin. Fenrir, Loki's son, is as wise and as cunning as his father. Binding him will not be a simple task. The beast can break any physical chains known to us." Odin paused and thought. "Then we find one unknown." Odin cursed and sent out the challenge far and wide. Tyr approached Fenrir at the same time, tasked with delivering the trick. "Fenrir, my great son?" The words hung heavy in his mouth. "Odin has a task for you. Should you manage to complete it, you will finally be welcomed as the strongest and honored by the gods." Not one to back away from the challenge, Fenrir nodded. "I will make you proud. You trained me well, Tyr. What shall it be?" "Odin will present you with chains. If you manage to break free from all of them, then he will have no choice but to agree to your strength." "A true testament to my power," Fenrir boomed, echoing through the land. Many chains were brought to Fenrir, and each time he broke them with ease. Fenrir, the strength of Angrboda and Loki combined, flowed through him, feeding his power. It would seem the great Asgardian king had met his match. That is, until a dove flew all the way to Svartalfheim, the land of the dwarves. Masterful craftsmen who knew no physical bindings could craft the great beast. Being such experts with crafts, they searched for the most elaborate of things in existence. What they found was the sound of a cat's footsteps, the beard of a woman, the roots of mountains, the breath of a fish, and the spittle of a bird. When they finished gathering all those materials, they were shocked to find no more of those things would exist in the world. It was a heavy price to pay, but eventually they finished their work. A glowing thread shined in the light, dancing as reflective diamonds they called the chain Gleipnir, and decided it would be that enchanted twine they would bring to Odin as their contribution. Upon seeing this thread, Fenrir knew there was something wrong. "What will you do should I not be able to break these chains?" Odin smirked. "Do you doubt your strength?" He knew how skilled the dwarves were. They both did. "I doubt your honor," Fenrir spat back, also fully aware this must have been a trick. "Give me your word that I will be released from these chains if they should not break." "My word," Odin huffed. He owed this beast nothing. In the silence, one stood up. He had taken a stand for this wolf many times before. "I will give you my word," Tyr stepped forward, laying himself at the wolf's mercy. "Your arm I will have," Fenrir answered back. If this was a trick, he wanted to maim the one responsible. "Place your arm in my mouth. Should the chains not come off, I will take your sword-bearing arm." Without thought, Tyr agreed. Fenrir was his challenge, and this was a fitting end. He placed his arm in Fenrir's mouth, never sweating, shaking, or wavering. He had full trust in the wolf to honor the deal, just as he knew Fenrir had his full trust. As the chain was placed around Fenrir, it glowed as a silver thread would in the moonlight. Once complete, Fenrir tried with all his might, but the chains would not break. The moon passed the sky until the sun rose and set, welcoming a new night, and still the chains would not break. Defeated, broken, Fenrir conceded. "I am not strong enough to break these chains." He turned back to Odin. "Unbind me." As Odin turned away, shaking his head, Fenrir's justice was as swift as if Tyr had passed it himself. One clean break, and Tyr's arm was gone. Tyr, forever maimed, forced to carry around the proof he was not always honorable, and Fenrir cursed the gods, screaming until another devastating blow was taken. A giant sword was lodged in Fenrir's mouth. Odin turned to him. Disgusted, "You will never be able to bite down on another thing again." And then he turned to everyone else. "Take the beast from my sight. Chain him alone to weep for his lost battle." And so they dragged Fenrir to an island where he was tied to a rock. As he fought and struggled against his chains, time passed. He laid upon the ground, mouth gaping, as drool began to pool, creating a river that cut through the land. Tyr gazed upon the destruction caused by the beast and turned to Odin, fear radiating through his eyes. He will be bound until the time of Ragnarok. He is the breaker of chains, and he will devour us all. And with that tale, we honor Fenrir. Just as he had been bound, so do we find ourselves bound in our own chains. Tyr, though wise, knew this was a losing battle, and rather someone else suffered for the trick, he took the punishment to heart. The gods are powerful, but they are bound by our same flaws. Fenrir, in his ignorance, in his arrogance, accepted a challenge that was against him. Tyr turned his back on justice, swore against his own son. What happened to both is a lesson to all. Just as Fenrir is destined to break free, we too shall stay strong through our own challenges. Just as Tyr strayed from his path, so too will we find ourselves back to what is right. I send you off tonight, empowered with the lessons they teach. Thank you for coming tonight, Fenrir. Keep finding your strength. Goodbye. Thank you for coming, Tyr. Thank you for your insight and bravery. Goodbye.